Greetings from Temecula, California. This is the RYDER Report. So glad you found it. Thank you for sticking with us. I know probably by this point we have lost all credibility, and that's not okay. But here we are, another episode, and so glad you're with us. So glad you have decided to stick, and so glad that you have found it. A lot of people don't even know where it is or how to find it, and we're glad that you have found it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, credibility and all that stuff, forget it. Doesn't matter. It's ancient history, and that's okay too. Ancient history. We love ancient history. But on this show, though, we don't really dabble with history. We like to talk about what happened in the present tense. And so that's what we're going to do. We had 4 MLB Post season games today. And they were all, 3 of the 4 were all electric. The 4th one still going on as we speak. WNBA Finals. What a showdown in the desert tonight. Las Vegas up 3-0, looking to get out the broom. Talk about Bill Belichick and the mess that he's in. Plus some hockey. Montreal Canadiens taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't think it can get more hockeyer than that. Plus, 30 teams in 30 days. Going to be talking about the Indiana Pacers and the Los Angeles Clippers. Pacers won their preseason game last night in overtime against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Was that an indication that they are going to be okay without Tyrese Halliburton? That is for you to decide. But I have reports and kind of getting you recapped on where the Pacers and the Clippers are ahead of the NBA season. This is the RYDER Report. I am Ryder Bullock. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for finding us. Thank you for sticking with us. You are the reason that I do this. So, with that said, let's get started. WNBA Finals, they can feel it now. The Las Vegas Aces are 1 win away from putting another trophy in their trophy case. A 90-88 thriller in Phoenix puts the Aces up 3-0 in the WNBA Finals, and they can close it out on Friday night. What a finish. Game 3 had everything. Stars showing up, defensive grit, and a final minute that left everyone on their feet. The Aces withstood every punch the Mercury threw and somehow found a way to survive again. Let's look at how they did it. The Las Vegas Aces got it done with precision and poise. They hit 92% from the free throw line, 23 of 25, the kind of clutch shooting that separates champions from challengers. Phoenix actually shot better from the field, believe it or not, 43.9% to 42.6%, but those missed free throws, 8 of them loomed large late. Rebounds, Vegas by 3, 36-33. Blocks, Vegas dominating the rim with 8. Turnovers, kept it clean with just 10 while forcing 12 from the Mercury. That's winning basketball when the margins are razor thin. The Mercury had their shot, a chance to steal one at home, but the Aces defense held strong. Clutch, stops, key rebounds, and calm at the line sealed it. You can see the confidence in this team. They've been here before, and they know what it takes. So now, the Las Vegas Aces stand on the doorstep of history, 1 win away from their third title in 4 seasons, and the dynasty talk, it's real, because Las Vegas isn't just winning, they're doing it with swagger and discipline. For Phoenix, they show tremendous fight tonight, but they'll need one more near perfect game to send this series back to Vegas. Game 4 Friday night in Phoenix. The Aces can lift the trophy right there on the road. The Mercury, they're playing for survival. Either way, expect more fireworks from the desert. It's Las Vegas 90, Phoenix 88. The Aces 1 win away from another championship. And what a great night for Asia Wilson. 34 points, 11 of 20, 11 of 12 from the free throw line. Wow. To baseball, and Detroit down early, but by night's end it was all Tigers in Motown. Dominic Cazone gets Seattle going, shooting 1 to right. Bo Naylor scores, and the Mariners take the early lead. Elvis Andrus grounds in 2, but Naylor crosses the plate, 2-0 Mariners. Cal Riley with the RBI knock to right. Randy Arzona scores 3-0 Seattle, feeling good, but then in the 5th, the Tigers wake up. Dylan Dingler doubles down the line. McKinstry scores. Parker Meadows, nope. Parker Jones doubles to tie it. And then Javier Baez. Yeah, that Baez with a sharp single to left. Detroit erases the deficit, and we're tied at 3. In the 6th, Riley Green launches a moonshot, 454 feet to right center. Tigers grab the lead 4-3. Later that frame, Zach McKinstry plates another, and Baez squared. A 2-run bomb to left. Detroit puts up a 4 spot in the inning, 7-3. Detroit starting to take over. 7th inning, new addition. Gleyber Torres joins the party. Solo shot to right, 8-3 Tigers. The 8th inning. Why not talk about Baez? He caps off the monster night, delivering McKinstry his 4th RBI. Tigers win at 9-3, evening the series and forcing a decisive Game 5. Will Vest strikes out Arizona to close it. Tigers fans roar into the night. Detroit roars back from 3 down. Baez 3 for 4, 2 homers, 4 driven in, and the Tigers are still alive. Series tied at 2 with Game 5 Friday. Cubs trying to stay alive down in the series, but not backing down at Wrigley. Christian Yelich tags up on Sal Frelick, sacrifice fly. Brewers strike first, 1-0. But the Cubs punch right back. Michael Busch launches 1 deep to right center, 377 feet. We're tied 1 apiece. Then the bats stay hot. Pete Crow, Armstrong lines 1 to right, scoring 2. Wrigley's bouncing. Cubs up 3-1. Moments later, Ian Happ dashes a home on a wild pitch, a 4-run first inning outburst, and Chicago's got all the momentum. 4th inning, Jake Bowers stays hot. RBI single up the middle. Frelick scores. It's now 4-2. Brewers are trying to climb back. 7th inning. Don't leave yet, ladies and gentlemen, because Bowers again, this time no doubt about it, a solo blast to left center, cutting it to 4-3. That's his 2nd RBI of the night. 8th inning. Check this out. Cubs turn a would-be into an incredible chaos prevention. Brilliant play to stop the inning from unraveling. The Cubs defense delivering big time. 9th inning, last chance for Milwaukee. Yelich grounds out to first. Ball game. The Cubs hold on 4-3. Drew Pomeranz gets the win. Brian Keller locks down the save, and Chicago forces a Game 4 at Wrigley tomorrow. Yankees taking on the Blue Jays in the Bronx. The Blue Jays looking to steal one from the Yankees, and they did it with clutch hitting and calm under pressure. George Springer crosses a plate after Vladimir Guerrero Jr. ropes in an RBI single to right. Jay jumps out early 1-0. Ryan McMahon, the former rookie, takes former Rocky, takes one to the short porch in right, 357 feet. Game one tied at 1 apiece. Springer does his job. Sacrifice fly to center. Clement scores. Jays back on top 2-1. Nathan Lukes comes through in the clutch in the 7th inning. Drills a 2-run single up the middle. Clement and Gimenez score. Jays extend it 4-1. 8th inning, Miles Straw adding insurance keeps the line moving. RBI single to right. Kirk trots home 5-1 Toronto. 8th inning, bases loaded, nobody out. Jays escape the jam beautifully. A strikeout, a pop-up, and a grounder in the threat. Defense saves the day. 9th inning, Aaron Judge drives one late. Dominguez scores, but that's all New York can manage. Tonight, Toronto takes it 5-2. Dominguez gets the win, Jeff Hoffman the save, and the Jays silence Yankee Stadium behind a complete team effort and are in the ALCS. What a night of baseball, and it's still going on as we speak. Dodgers taking on the Phillies. Phillies lead it 3-1, top of the 8th. And the Dodgers, of course, lead that series 2-0. Phillies trying to get back in it with this game. And they currently lead it 3-1. Okay, we go from the diamond to the ice. Opening night in Washington. Alex Overkin and the Capitals hosting the Bruins. New season, new coach in Boston, and a familiar face leading the way. Jeremy Swayman in net for Boston. He was locked in all night. One of his 35 saves right here, robbing Nick Dowd on the semi breakaway after a sloppy chance. David Pasnick, you've seen that release before. Wrist shot from just inside the blue line through traffic, beats Logan Thompson, 1-0 Bruins. Third period, Tom Wilson parked in the slot, ties it at 1 with a quick release. The crowd's alive at Capital One Arena. Next shift, Bruins answer immediately. Just 38 seconds later, penalty on John Carlson. Elias Lindholm goes backhand, top shelf, and Boston's right back in front 2-1. Morgan Geekie steals it with the empty netter, and Marco Strum picks up his first win behind the bench. Bruins take it 3-1. Pastrnak, 1 goal, 2 assists. Seaman, 35 saves. Bruins kill all 5 Washington power plays, including nearly a full minute of 5-on-3. And for Ovechkin, no goals on 3 shots. The 40-year-old still sitting on 897 for his career. He'll try again Saturday against the Islanders, while the Bruins host Chicago on Thursday night. Toronto and Montreal. Doesn't get more hockeyer than that. I think I said that earlier. Just 62 seconds in, Bobby McMahon gets a piece of it in front, redirects it home, 1-0 Leafs. Scornbank already rocking, but Montreal answers. Oliver Capin, welcome to the NHL. First career goal, short-handed no less, beats Stoller's glove slide. Game tied at 1. Zach Bolduc crushes the net, pounces it out on the rebound, and the Canadians go up 2-1 early in the second. Cal Jarnkork, tough angle, tough shot, fights through a defender, and wrists it home 2-2. Third appearance was the difference maker. It was the veteran Morgan Riley who jumped into the slot, rips it top corner, glove slide, and gives Toronto the lead for good, 3-2. Austin Matthews slides into the empty net, and then William Nylander, who had 3 points on the night, tacks on another to seal it. The final Toronto 5, Maple Leafs 5, Montreal 2. Toronto takes the opener 5-2. Anthony Stolares solid in the net with 29 saves. Riley with the game winner, and the Leafs go off to a strong start in the 25-26 season. Canadians head to Detroit Thursday, while the Leafs face those same Red Wings on Saturday night. Okay, let's talk about this absolute mess in Chapel Hill. The Bill Belichick experiment at North Carolina is what I'm referring to, because that's exactly what it is. It's an experiment. It's a messy experiment, and it's off to a disastrous start. I mean, let's call it what it is. The Tar Heels are 2-3. They've been outscored by 87 points against Power 4 teams, and they're coming off a game against Clemson where it was 28-3 before you could even finish your popcorn. And now we've got reports, rumors, leaks, statements, counter statements that North Carolina and Belichick, the athletic director, all putting out these polished press releases like everything's fine. I read one just moments ago. He has the complete backing of the university. Okay, everything's fine, they said. Well, wake up, because everything's not fine. This thing's on fire. You've got Board of Trustees members allegedly offering Belichick the job behind the AD's back. You've got Lombardi writing letters to donors about a rebuild. I didn't even know colleges had general managers. You've got the players apparently frustrated. The social media team muzzled. The assistant coach suspended for recruiting violations. And somewhere in the middle of all that, Belichick's out here giving these stoic, monotone post-game quotes about doing the same things but better. And let me tell you something. That line might work in Foxborough when you've got Tom Brady and 6 rings and you're on to Cincinnati. But you're not in Foxborough anymore, Bill. You're in Chapel Hill. Okay? You lose by 40 to Clemson. You're not talking about doing the same thing better. You're talking about doing different things. Because what you're doing right now, it ain't working. Now, the latest twist, the rumors that Belichick and North Carolina were talking buyout, that they were negotiating a way out of his 5-year deal with $10 million guaranteed per year. Both sides come out and denied it. Issued a joint statement. That's the kiss of death right there when you've got to release a joint statement mid-season. This is the one I just quoted, the one I read moments ago. You know, that says we're fine. Nah, you're not fine, fam. You know, when you got to release a joint statement mid-season saying everyone's fully committed, you're not committed. That's the PR version of saying we're fine right before you get divorced. And let's be honest, this whole thing was bizarre from the start. Bill Belichick in college football. That was bizarre to me. Recruiting 18-year-olds. NIL meetings. Transfer portal pitches. Come on, the man once said he doesn't even text. How's he supposed to sell a 5-star wideout on his brand? I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're going to limp through the season. They'll probably win a couple more games against the bottom of the ACC. And then after the season, both sides will mutually agree to part ways. That's the phrase you'll see. And they'll pay him a nice, quiet check to go back to his boat in his film room and his 20-year-old girlfriend. But make no mistake, this was never a fit. You can't take a 72-year-old NFL legend and drop him into the middle of college football chaos and expect him to thrive. This isn't about football knowledge. Belichick's forgotten more about football than most coaches will ever know. It's about environment. College football in 2025 is a circus. It's NIL. it's branding, it's optics, it's recruiting battles on TikTok, and that is why legends like Nick Saban retired. That is why legends like Dambo Sweeney are failing. That is why Jimbo Fisher got fired, because college football passed him by. And it's happening to Dambo Sweeney right now in Clemson, too. Belichick would have been a great college coach had he coached in 2005. It's a different world out there. Okay? Belichick's not built for TikTok. Okay? This is a man, he's 72. Okay? And I'm not talking of age so much here, but yes, I am. 72. I don't think before he met his 20-year-old girlfriend, he knew what TikTok was. I bet if we surveyed 100 72-year-old men, are you on TikTok? An overwhelming majority would say no. And how can you connect to an 18-year-old in 2025 when you don't know how to use TikTok? And there are other ways, but I'm just saying, NIL money, this is going to sound harsh, and I don't mean it to, but I don't think Belichick remembers when he was 18. I mean, sure, grander picture, sure, yeah, but to be 18, and he sure doesn't remember being 18 with a $7-8 million shoe deal, or Burger King deal, or what, insert NIL here. He's not built for that. He's built for film rooms, not photo ops. So we'll see if Carolina really sticks by him. But right now, it looks like the great experiment is unraveling fast, and honestly, I'm not surprised. Let's continue with the NCAA, and the NCAA is at it again. And this one is, I scratch my head at a little bit, because the NCAA, the one that's been wagging its fingers at everyone about integrity and amateurism for 100 years, has decided to take another step in the modern world. They're moving closer to letting college athletes and athletic department staff, okay, these are athletic directors, coaches, offensive coordinators, athletic department staff, and they're moving to this vote to allow them to bet money on professional sports, not college games, professional ones. Okay, so if you're a quarterback at Michigan, okay, you can't touch a bet on Michigan, Ohio State. But the NFL on Sunday, you can bet those Lions all day long. Bet the NBA, you can bet on the Pistons all day long. You might be able to throw down a parlay like the rest of the student body come November 1st if all three divisions sign off on it, Division 1, 2, and 3. The NCAA says, quote, "We remain concerned about the risk of gambling, but want to better align athletes with their campus peers." That's the line. Translation, they know they can't police this anymore. The world's changed. Sports betting is legal in half the country. Kids have apps on their phones and trying to tell a 20-year-old they can't participate while the rest of their classmates are betting on the same game parlays. That's a losing battle. Okay? But here's my issue. Integrity. The line between pro and college is already thin. Thinner than ever with NIL, transfer portals, and all the money flying around. Now you're going to tell me that the backup point guard or a guard assistant can legally bet on an NFL game while still being part of an athletic department that handles inside info every day. It's a gray area, actually. It's about 50 shades of gray, realistically. And you know what else? Once you start normalizing gambling inside the athletic structure, it's only a matter of time before someone crosses the wrong line. You can put all the rules and pamphlets and education sessions and have a Vegas 101 class. But it's only a matter of time before someone crosses the wrong line. Okay? And here's my example. You want someone's going to think, well, if I can bet on the pros, why not a college game? I'm not involved in it. What's stopping quarterback from Temple betting on a St. John's basketball game? He's not playing in the game. He's not involved in it. It's inevitable. That is going to happen. And I get the NCAA is trying to evolve. They want to align with society, so they say, and that's fine. But let's not pretend this is all about freedom and fairness. This is about control. They're not moralizing anymore. They're managing. They know they can't stop it. So they're trying to make it look responsible. And look, I'm not a party pooper here. Gambling's everywhere now, you can't watch a game without seeing a DraftKings ad. Can't even watch a post or pregame show without ESPN Bet or MGM Bet or Caesars Sportsbook or whatever bet.com. It's everywhere. Okay? And they see that. These athletes, college athletes, see it. Sometimes they're game sponsors on the field. So it's there. Okay? The leagues and the networks are in bed with sports books. So you can't watch a game without seeing 3 different live odd banners at the bottom of your screen. But for college sports, that's different. You're talking about kids, many of whom don't have the maturity, the financial sense, or frankly, the safety from bad influence to negative stuff, right? And to navigate this safely. Because, and again, it's inevitable, right? Some kids, some high school or some college kids are going to win some money, okay? And that thrill, that high, is going to, let's do it again. Let's double or nothing. Let's triple or nothing. Let's boom, boom, boom. And then they are broke and in debt. And maybe they owe a bookie some money and they can't pay, and you know how that story ends. So yeah, the NCAA is loosening the leash, but I'd watch this one very closely. Because even in one scandal, and there's a scandal's going to happen, you can see it miles away. and it's going to pop up. And they're going to wish they kept that leash just a little bit tighter. Okay. From betting to the NBA, and I hope you're betting on the Indiana Pacers because last year was historic, and I mean historic. For the first time since the year 2000, these guys made it all the way to the NBA Finals. Can you believe it? They stumbled out of the gate 10-15. People were writing them off, myself included, but they stayed the course, kept the roster together from the 23-24 season, and boom, Eastern Conference Finals back-to-back. Taking down the Bucks, the Cavs, and the Knicks, nearly winning it all, took the Thunder to Game 7. Tyrese Halliburton, the walking highlight reel, 4-game winners in the final minute of the playoffs. But folks, here's the kicker. Achilles in Game 7 of the finals. He's out all of next season, all of this season. Yikes. That's a star-shaped hole you don't just plug overnight. Now let's talk off-season. Miles Turner's gone. Okay, to the Bucks now. Okay, 10 years as a Pacer, all-time blocks leader in Indiana, and now he's walking out the door. They tried to plug that hole. They re-signed Isaiah Jackson. James Wiseman traded for Jay Huff. None of these guys had been full-time starters before. It's a committee approach. Okay, Andrew Nembhard, T.J. McConnell, they're going to have to step up. Nembhard had career highs in points, rebounds, assists last year. Now he's at the 1. McConnell, the human joystick, energetic, scrappy, steady, but without a blockbuster free agent move or a big rookie splash, the Pacers are counting on the returning core, Siakam, Mathurin, Obi Toppin, and the rest. My X factor is Pascal Siakam, and this is the guy, right? Only all-star on the squad last year, first selection since 22-23, a 26-3 type number, shooting almost 39% from 3. He's your scorer now, your leader, the guy who rallies the troops when the chips are down. If he plays at the all-NBA level, the Pacers aren't just surviving without Halliburton, they're competing. And I believe that this Pacer team will compete. Okay? My question, though, is James Wiseman. Remember him? 2020 number 2 overall pick. You know, he was supposed to dominate the point. And he's got a chance to seize the starting center spot and control the paint. Okay? Injuries have held him back, yeah, but the door's open. So if he steps in and delivers, the Pacers can still be dangerous. If not, well, it's going to be a long season in the East. Like I said, though, the Pacers did win their preseason matchup last night against the Timberwolves. Other days that you will want to mark on your calendar are as follows. They have the matchup on October 22nd, and this is a big one. It is a big game, October 23rd, against the Thunder. Okay, so this is kind of like a game 8 of the NBA Finals, October 23rd against the Thunder. Emeritus NBA Cup Group A play, October 31st against the Hawks, November 21st at the Cavaliers, November 26th at the Raptors, November 28th against the Wizards. Rivals Week, January 23rd at the Thunder. From the Pacers to the Clippers. And the Clippers last year, 50 wins again last season. 50, that's 2 straight 50-win seasons. James Harden was an all-star. Kawhi Leonard came back healthy and looked sharp. Zubac, Norman Powell, career years all around. But here's the problem. For the third year in a row, first-round exit. Game 7 loss to the Nuggets. It's a bad rerun. So the question is, can this revamped Clippers team finally break through? Let's get to the offseason. Harden signs a 2-year extension. Norman Powell is gone, but the Clippers didn't just replace him. They upgraded. Bradley Beal, 3-time All-Star, comes in after Phoenix buyout. Chris Paul, 12-time All-Star, back in L.A. John Collins comes over in a trade. Brooke Lopez signs on. Floor spacing, veteran depth, you name it. The Clippers are loaded with experience. Now the question, will it all click? And I believe it will. My X factor is James Harden, plain and simple. Still one of the league's best playmakers, averaging 22 and 8 with over 35% from 3. He's hitting milestones left and right, past Ray Allen, chasing Carmelo, chasing Shaq. Harden orchestrates everything. Pair him with a healthy Kawhi Leonard, that's lethal. Last year in Leonard's 37 games, Harden's points and assists went up. When the two are on the floor, they make everyone around them better. That's your anchor. That's your MVP level guy. Another question I have is backcourt additions. Okay, that's the $1 million question. The backcourt. The Clippers were 3rd in defense last year, but 20th in scoring, 25th in threes made. That's not good enough if you want to compete in the West with the minds of Oklahoma City, Denver, Minnesota. Powell's gone. 21 points, 179 threes, 41.8%. Big shoes to fill, right? Can Beal and Paul fill them? Beal can shoot, move off the ball, score in bunches. Paul can distribute, run the floor, manage the game. Can they take the load off Harden? Can this new look backcourt lift the offense to elite levels? If it clicks, the Clippers could be dangerous. If it's not clicking, well, you know what happens. First round heartbreak, repeat, rinse, and repeat. So that's where the Clippers stand. Veteran-laden, high-level talent, all the pieces on paper, but paper don't play the game. It's about chemistry, execution, and avoiding those late series collapses. Keep an eye on Harden, Leonard, and the new vets. If it works, they could be top of the West. If not, we'll be talking about another first-round exit come April. And they have their preseason opener tomorrow night at the Front Wave Arena in Oceanside, California, against the Longhorn Lions of the Chinese Basketball Association. And live from Front Wave Arena in Oceanside, California, it's the Hardwood Report. Join us tomorrow as the Clippers tip off their preseason against the Longhorn Lions at 10 p.m. Eastern. And stick around. The RYDER Report follows right after the game with all the highlights, analysis, and inside stories. Do not miss it. We will also have key insights from other games as well going on that day, and it should be a lot of fun. We'll also talk more about the Clippers tomorrow on the Hardwood Report. Here's what's trending in the world of sports. Saints defensive end Chase Young practiced today for the first time since suffering a calf strain before Week 1 and said he's hopeful to play Sunday against New England. Young, who signed a 3-year, $51 million contract this offseason, missed the first 5 weeks out of caution to avoid re-injury. He emphasized the decision to delay his return was made collectively with team trainers. Despite Young's absence, New Orleans pass rush led by Carl Granderson, 4.5 sacks, and Cameron Jordan, 2.5, has remained effective, ranking 13th in the NFL with 12 sacks. Young said he's eager to add some more goodness to that group. Head coach Kellen Moore said Young looked good and that his return to practice was a really good step, but the team will monitor his progress daily. Some other injuries. Running back Alvin Kamara tweaked his ankle in practice, but it's nothing concerning. Safety Justin Reed remains in concussion protocol. Cornerback Isaiah Yarden missed practice with a hamstring issue, which could open the door for newly acquired cornerback Michael Davis, a player Moore coached with the Chargers, to seek significant snaps this week. The Saints are 1-4, coming off their first win of the season against the New York Giants. In Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Jaguars and Cleveland Browns swapped starting cornerbacks Wednesday night. Tyson Campbell goes to Cleveland and Greg Newsome heads to Jacksonville along with an exchange of late-round 2026 draft picks. Jaguars receive a 6th-rounder. Browns get a 7th-rounder. Campbell signed last year to a 4-year, $76.5 million extension with $54.4 million guaranteed. Struggled to fit Jacksonville's newly defensive scheme. Newsome, the 26th overall pick in 2021, is in the final year of his $13.4 million contract. This marks the Browns' second trade in 2 days following the deal sending cornerback Joe Flacco to Cincinnati. The friendly soccer match between Argentina and Puerto Rico, originally scheduled for October 13th at Soldier Field in Chicago, has been relocated to Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, home of Lionel Messi and Inter Miami. The move comes amid Chicago's immigration crackdown, where more than 1,000 immigrants have been arrested and the National Guard has been deployed to manage protests. A Chicago Park District spokesman also cited low ticket sales as a factor. Messi will play in both the Puerto Rico match and another friendly against Venezuela at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. These matchups are part of Argentina's preparation for the 2026 World Cup, which will be co-hosted by the United States, Mexico, and Canada. That's what's trending in sports. Here is tonight's final thought. You hear it every time a team loses out west. It was the travel, the time zones, the plane ride. Penn State just gave us the latest chapter in that story after falling to UCLA, and Coach James Franklin mentioned the cross-country trek as part of the explanation. And sure, traveling coast to coast is no picnic, but let's not pretend that 5 hours on a plane suddenly turns college athletes into amateurs. Here's the reality. In Big Ten games this season, teams traveling 3 time zones away are winning more than they're losing. 4 wins, 2 losses. That's hardly the kind of overwhelming disadvantage you'd expect if travel was some kind of kryptonite. Penn State just happens to have been on the wrong end of it. They lost at home and on the road against Oregon and UCLA, despite being favored. And in the ACC, visiting teams are 1-3. Boston College got walloped at Stanford and fell again at home to Cal. Last year, the numbers tell a similar story. In the Big Ten, the visiting team went 5-11 in those long-haul games. In the ACC, it was 7-5, but keep in mind every single one involved Western teams like Cal and Stanford who struggled no matter where they played. It's not just the plane ride. It's the team itself. This weekend, we've got 4 more Big Ten games stretching 3 time zones. Rutgers at Washington, UCLA at Michigan State, Indiana at Oregon, and Michigan at USC. Wake Forest takes on Oregon State for the ACC's cross-country offering. And yes, Michigan's playing Thursday night to give themselves an extra day. Coach Sharon Moore insists his team learned from last year's trip to Washington when they were a little groggy and dealing with dehydration. He's right, travel can take a toll, But here's the thing. Every team knows this is part of the game now. It's part of the schedule, part of the deal, and part of being a program that wants national relevance. So when a coach brings up the jet lag as a reason for a loss, it's worth listening, but don't mistake it for an excuse. College football isn't played on paper, and it isn't played in a vacuum. It's played with the realists of travel, preparation, and the fact that sometimes the better team loses. That's sport. And that's why, my friends, is why we watch it. That'll do it for me on this Wednesday night. Till next time, Ryder Bullock reporting. Thank you for your time, and thank you for letting me share mine.